Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Crescent City Connection. It's high noon. You already know what time it is. I'm your host, T5, and today's show, we're going to talk a little Saints. Actually, we're going to talk a lot of Saints. We're going to talk about Kellen Moore's first draft class as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. We're also going to talk about his undrafted free agent afterwards and where they fit in. And then we're going to mosey on over to talk a little college. LSU Tigers, men's and women's, swinging the bats. And why? Because it's a Louisiana sports show. And we talk Louisiana sports, unlike the national media. All that and a little bit more, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. It's Crescent City Connection, your new home for Louisiana sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all of this sports. Yes, sir.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, T5. You're the family. I think we're family. I like to think we're family. And this is the Crescent City Connection. Fastest rising Louisiana sports show on the interwebs. Powered by IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Shout out to our lovely sponsors, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole nother planet. Shucks kiss. Waiting for my haul to come in, baby. Can't wait. And of course, Vital Apparel, keeping you fitted when you're getting ready for your physical fitness, your iron therapy, and also supporting your mental therapy as well. And of course, Seal the Deal Wax Seals, brought to you by Mr. Seal the Beat, for when you want to be very, very fancy, but you're on a real nice budget. And of course, the show and all the other shows we rock with are sponsored or powered by IE Sports Radio. You can go on iesports.com and find all the other shows, not just my show. I'm just a small little cog in the wheel. We have all kinds of other shows from New York, California, Florida, Ohio, everywhere. And we deal with all the sports, not just the football, the foosball. And you can find out those shows, their schedules, their bios, who host the shows, their background, their arrest records. Now, I don't know about all that. And you can find out a little bit more on iesportsradio.com. But you can also find our merch on iesportsradio.com/shop. I believe it's /shop. I hope so. Where we have the t-shirts, the hats, the hoodies. It's time for me to get a new hat because I'm a hat guy. And the t-shirts and the wristbands. Be the flyest person in your car ride line, the flyest person in the gym, rocking the IE Sports Radio gear. Check us out. Check out the shop. Rep the gear. Rep the brand. And of course, you can find this show and all the other shows on Spotify, YouTube, Live, the Twitch, or I like to call it the Snitch, Twitter X, as long as they're still rolling, and everywhere you get your lovely podcast, that's where you'll find us. Because I wouldn't Google myself. I Googled the Crescent City Connection for the first time and find out we're nationwide. We're nationwide. We're nationwide. We're everywhere, baby. So you want to find us? You can't get rid of me. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me on the Twitter machine at Who Is T Fizzle, my personal page, where I talk about anime, wrestling, nothing serious, pop culture, the sun coming up, going down, try to spread a little positivity. But you can also follow me at the Crescent City Connection _IE, where I talk all the Louisiana sports, retweeting all kinds of gangster stuff from Louisiana sports. You'll find it there. And with that being said, I'm also on Blue Sky. U, the letter U, the letter T, the number 5, at Blue Sky, blah, blah, blah. I'm on Blue Sky, doing stuff. Doing basically the same thing I'm doing on Twitter. Only not worried about Elon Musk and all kinds of other weirdness. That being said, let's get right into it. We're going to give Derek Carr a break this week. Everybody else on the desert has a podcast in New Orleans, yada, yada, yada. Talk about Derek Carr. We're not going to do that. We're going to talk about the team that is being assembled right in front of us in real time. We're going to talk about Derek. Oh, my bad. Sorry. I got the dude's name stuck in my head. We're going to talk about Kellen Moore's first draft class as the New Orleans Saints head coach, a very pivotal draft class. Now, everybody wants this draft class to have the big names and the flashy positions and blah. Everybody does a mock draft. Great, super. Everybody's got to have a dream. Happy for you. Guess what? As long as I've been watching the draft for many, many moons, many, many years, that doesn't always go the way you want. And I can appreciate what Kellen Moore's actually doing. He's building from, most people just want to move into the house. Let me use this analogy. Most people just want to move into the house and they're not worried about the foundation. They just want to move into the house. He's actually building the house from the ground up, making sure it's nice and sturdy from the base to the roof. That way, if the big bad wolf comes in and huffs and puffs and tries to blow your house down, it ain't happening because you got a sturdy foundation, sturdy roof. That's what Kellen Moore's doing. With the first pick in the 2025 NFL draft at pick number 9, some of us thought he might go wide receiver. But Ted McMillan had already been picked by the Carolina Panthers a pick before. Those disgusting kittens. So that was off the table. Most people thought, like myself, Ty Warren, tight end from Penn State. They passed on that. Some people thought maybe one of the pass rushers, edge rushers. There was a lot of them still on the board. All of them, just about, pretty much. They passed on that, and they went with, I keep forgetting his name. It's Kelvin. They went with Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle from Texas. And I'm not mad at that because this pick does a lot of things. First of all, it solidifies your offensive line. You can't throw the ball, can't run the ball if your offensive line ain't hitting. We got Eric McCoy in the middle. We got Cesar Ruiz. We got Taliasa Fuaga, we drafted last year. We have Dylan Radins that we picked up in free agency from Tennessee. He's a solid guard. We'll see what he's working with. But the only question mark is Trevor Penning. Now, he looked good last year. He looked good, like he was taking the right step forward. But can he do it again? And does Kellen Moore's staff believe in him to do it again? And is he willing to gamble on that? And that's where Kelvin Banks comes in. Kelvin Banks is a hell of an offensive lineman. He won the Outland Award for best lineman, period, offense or defense, lineman, period, in the country. And he won the Lombardi Award for best offensive lineman in the country. Not for nothing, Texas had one of the best offensive lines in the country. So, man, that's a lot. That's a stark contrast from Trevor Penning. So, it begs the question, what are they going to do? Are they going to let them two compete and you just have Trevor Penning as a backup? Or are you going to try to you're going to put Fuaga in his natural position, Kelvin Banks in his natural position at tackle, swap them out, and you have Trevor Penning kick in to guard if that's something he wants to do. Now, financially, that could work because they did not pick up the fifth-year option on Trevor Penning. So you could re-sign him as a guard if he works out there, as opposed to having to re-sign him as a tackle, which is a little bit more. Either way, you'll be putting your best 5 linemen on the field, and we need it because last year the offensive line was Rudy Poo, and most of it was because of injuries. But another one of it because they were too busy shuffling dudes. We took the guard who could play center and put him at center when McCoy went down. We took another guard who could play. We took another tackle who could play guard and put him at other guard and move this dude here and all kinds of gangster football Tetris type stuff that didn't need to be done. And the team did not get a chance to gel together in their natural positions because we were too busy. Everywhere I'm shuffling, every day I'm shuffling. So, I mean, it'd be nice to have a solid offensive line where you could run the ball with a guy like Alvin Kamara and a new running back who I will talk about later as we go along. But that's what I got for Mr. Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive lineman, number 1 draft pick for the New Orleans Saints. Now, this is the pick everybody wants to talk about. Everybody has something to say about. But the second pick, pick 40, Tyler Shuck. Not Show, not Shuff, Shuck. S-H-U-G-H, Shuck. Quarterback, Louisville, not Louisville, but Louisville. The Louisville Cardinals. Now, this is a very polarizing pick because it's the highest the Saints have drafted a quarterback since Archie Manning. Excuse me. Since Archie Manning at pick number one. Round number one. A lot of people have a lot of different feelings about Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough, he had 5 years, 6 years in college, 5 years. So everybody's like, oh, he's gonna be 25. He's had a number of injuries, collarbone twice, and I think shoulder injury. And one of them was from like a hip drop tackle. Somebody landed on him. So it's not like he has brittle bone disease or anything, or it's not like he just wild accidents. He's not accident prone, so to speak. Other than that, the dude can spin the ball. 6'5". He ran the 40 like 4.6. So he can move, and he can throw the ball on the run, and he has gangster accuracy. And a lot of people wanted to do the whole Shedeur / Tyler comparison and everything. If you want to. Everybody has their favorite flavor of ice cream. Some people like cookies and cream. Some people like Neapolitan. Kellen Moore obviously likes Tyler Shough. He watched the dude's tape. He went to his pro day. He talked to the dude. He seen the dude at the Senior Bowl. You know who wasn't at the Senior Bowl? Shedeur Sanders. He saw the dude at the combine. They met with the dude at the combine. He watched him throw at the combine. You know who didn't throw at the combine? You know who was out there sandbagging interviews at the combine? You guessed it, Shedeur Sanders. Moral of the story, kids: if you prepare for the job you want, you might just get it. Who knew? While one person's stock was going down, the other person's stock was going up because he did everything the other person didn't want to do. It's not a huge conspiracy theory, ladies and gentlemen. It's that simple. The man put in the work, and he can spin the ball. Now, he's been to a couple of different schools. He was at Oregon, oddly enough, backing up Justin Herbert, which is weird. He was at Texas Tech. And of course, most notable, he was at Louisville. All 3 spots, he's been a very productive quarterback. Only thing is, 2 or 3 of them ended with season-ending injuries. Other than that, the dude can spin the ball. And that's what you want. And he's a leader. And he's ready for this type of offense. So I'm willing to give it a shot. Like, I've seen the tape. I've seen the tape for myself. Watched the highlights. And I listened to the dude. All I got to do is let him go out and prove it. And that's how I feel about Tyler Shough. I'm here for it. I think with him and Kellen Moore's offense, the way Kellen Moore likes to take the best out of a player and do what they like to do the most, and him being a former quarterback, and then you have Doug Nussmeier, former quarterback, as an offensive coordinator. Yeah, Scott Tolzien, also former quarterback. I think they can get the most out of not just him, but also Spencer Rattler. So I'm interested to see that battle when it comes to training camp. But I'm fine with the pick, because if he fails, then we're back looking for another quarterback. If he hits on him, then we just got our franchise quarterback in like round 2. And I'm here for it. Okay. Pick 71 in the third round was Vernon Broughton, defensive lineman from Texas. Now, most people might have him listed as defensive end. I have him listed as defensive lineman because when I watched his tape, first I seen him listed as defensive tackle, but he was lined up on the end. And he was rushing dudes, like he was pass rushing. And then I seen him on another person's tape lined up in the middle, like defensive tackle. And I'm like, timeout. I thought he was a defensive end. So I didn't know which one he was, defensive end, defensive tackle. Point was, the dude was getting after dudes. He was getting after dudes. And that's what we need. Our pass rush was getting after dudes, but they wasn't getting home. We wasn't getting the sacks, the end results. We were getting pressure. We weren't getting sacks. This dude was getting after it. And of course, we all know last couple of years, our run defense has been Rudy-poo. So hopefully he can come in and in this new, maybe hybridish 3-4 defense of Brandon Staley, he comes in with Brian Brzee, Devon Gottschall that we picked up from the Patriots, and Chase Young, and Carl Granderson, and we could get a nice run stopping, not only a run stopping line, but also some pass rush that gets home finally. And like I said, Kellen Moore starting the foundation. He's not putting the curtains up, which like the wide receivers and running backs and stuff, not putting the curtains up first. He's putting the foundation first, the trenches. Offensive line first round, defensive line third round. Makes sense to me, so I like that pick. We had 2 third-round picks. And the second one was not Jonas, Jonas. Jonas Sanker, safety from Virginia, pick 93. I like this pick as well because this is like an investment pick that can pay off year one as well. He plays special teams. He runs kicks back. He worked on running kicks back. He plays special teams, so he can contribute immediately. But also, down the line, he can sit behind Honey Badger, who's getting on in age, still has like about a year or two left in him, and learn. He can learn from Honey Badger, who's one of the best. And when it's his time to step to the side or decrease his role, he can seamlessly step right in. And I like that he's thinking ahead while putting in somebody that can contribute immediately at safety. We go to round 4. This is another pick that a lot of people like, including myself. Pick 112, room 112. Danny Stutzman, linebacker, Oklahoma. Shout out to the Sooners. Danny Stutzman, the first thing I seen when they showed his film after the pick was him blitzing the quarterback, blitzing the A-gap. And the dude looked like DeMario Davis blitzing. The same way DeMario blitzes up the A-gap is the same way he blitzed. And I was like, zang, he had me at hello. The dude's a tackling machine. He don't miss. And we all seen how many tackles the Saints were whiffing on and missing on. Not this cat. This cat, they starting to call him the water boy. We haven't even seen this dude in practice yet or training camp yet. Oh, that, and because he has a neck roll. if you're a linebacker with a neck roll, oh yeah, you hitting, dude, you hitting. So man, he's another pick that can contribute early if they put him on outside, like as a weak side linebacker, maybe challenging Pete Werner, who'll be here for a while, but also the understudy, and he'll be able to spy understudy DeMario, and he may be the future middle linebacker, heir apparent to DeMario Davis. Once again, thinking ahead, thinking for the future while contributing today. So I like that pick. He just has to work on his coverage a little bit. If he's going to take over DeMario in the future, he's going to have to work on his coverage a little bit. Not bad, because he has good speed. He has real good linebacker speed. He just needs to work on the coverage, and I think they can get him right. And once again, another solid pick. We also had 2 fourth-round picks. And this one was 131. Quincy Riley, cornerback, Louisville. Another Louisville Cardinal, ladies and gentlemen. Also getting depth in the cornerback room. We traded Marshawn Lattimore. We lost Adebo to the Giants in free agency. Needed to get more corners. Needed to get more depth. And we did that with Quincy Riley. Now, I think he's about maybe 5'11", but the dude can cover. So that's not bad. So when he makes up for size, he makes up with his speed and ballsiness. He's about that business. So some people are thinking he may get put at slot, allowing Alontae Taylor to be back at the boundary again. Don't know, because he can play outside, and that way you can keep Alontae at the star, nickel corner role. But we'll see. Other than that, once again, solid pick, a pick of need. So get in a position of need, and also somebody to contribute right now. So Kellen Moore is like slowly but surely building up this first draft class to, we need to get young. He's getting young. Now, this next pick, we didn't have a 5th round pick. Go straight to the 6th round. This pick is a lot of people's favorite pick that I've talked to. 6th round, pick 184, Devin Neal, running back from Kansas. Now, the dude's a fire plug. He's about 5'9", 5'10"-ish. He's a fire plug. He's like a little bit of a Darren Sproles muscle hamster. He's like, basically, if you took muscle hamster and you took Darren Sproles and put them together, that's Devin Neal. He doesn't have the fire breakaway speed, but he has the patience. He was 1,000-yard rusher just about all 4 years and team captain. That's another important part that I neglected to mention. Most of these picks are team captains. So they're coming in with the great mindset, the leadership, the work ethic, and they're solid picks. Now back to Devin Neal. He has the nice burst of speed. He has 3.4 yards after contact, which means he's going forward. He gets hit, he's going forward, not backwards. He follows the block well. You see, most of his blocks, he's got hand on the back. He's patient. He's a patient runner. And he follows the blocks well. And being small helps, because just when you think you got him or you stop the run, he can follow in between those small little crevices in the gaps and woof, take off. And he can be a great spell for Alvin Kamara. Alvin still got that juice. But who better to learn from? Who better to work with than Alvin Kamara, who's out there pulling Jeeps in the off season? You all seen the videos. The dude pulling Jeeps. Little Muscle Hamster Jr. could go right with him out there wherever he's at, pulling Jeeps in the middle of the street, getting them legs together. I like the pick. The dude was the all-time leading rusher in Kansas Jayhawks history. First of all, didn't know Kansas Jayhawks was running the ball like that last year. Second of all, the dude was the all-time leading rusher. I like it. And we go on to our last two picks. The 7th round, pick 248. Moliki Matavao, tight end, UCLA. Now, you LSU fans out there may remember this guy because UCLA came to town, and that game was like the hottest day in history at Death Valley. And he's more of a inside outside possession tight end, about 6'6", and he can run the ball, working on the block because he has the body and the frame to block. So he will work on that. But as far as pass catching, yeah, we needed that. The tight end room has been pretty thin, but we definitely needed a tight end like that. We thought we would get one a little earlier, but 7th round and this guy, for the value of that, I like that. He can run all the different routes, inside, outside, just has to work on the blocking. Because you look at him and you think, wow, he's probably a run blocking tight end first. Nope. Pass catching tight end first. Needs to work on the blocking. Once he does that, the dude could be a complete savage. And the best part was he talked to Coach Hazlitt, our new tight end coach, prior to the draft. And that was his only talk with the Saints, or with any team for that matter. So he was very highly regarded by the Saints. The Saints are out here getting dudes. Kellen Moore's staff is out here getting dudes that they talked to, that they wanted to get. They want to be here. Man. I mean, I like the pick so far. I'm sorry. And the last pick 254, Fadil Diggs, edge, Syracuse. The first thing you seen when you seen this dude and his tape is him getting after the quarterback. Cat is run stopping is all right, but him getting after the quarterback is definitely what you see first and foremost. And I want to see some more from him. I need to do some more tape on Fadil Diggs, but for the 7th round, he's a pretty, like, they thought he'd go higher. So he was also another surprise to be there in the 7th round. Overall, like I said before, they're not the big name picks, the flashy names and everything, or the flashy positions. But it was positions of need, players of value, and they're either award winners or they're team captains. And that's a lot for young dudes coming into a new team to make build this new culture in this new chapter of New Orleans Saints football. I give the overall draft class a B plus. I give it a solid B plus because the only thing we missed out on is wide receiver, and Mickey Loomis said every time at the post draft presser, every time they looked at a wide receiver that they wanted to get, he got snatched up a couple of picks ahead. Look at Ted McMillan, got snatched up right one pick ahead by the Panthers. The dude Higgins, he got snatched up about 4 picks ahead in what was it, second round, I think? Yeah, I think it was the second round. So the wide receivers that we wanted to get were getting snatched up. So we'll see what happens with the wide receivers. But that's not all. Because my favorite part of the draft, after the draft, the UDFA Hall, undrafted free agents. Now, let's see. We start off with Josheen Davis, edge rusher from Wake Forest. Elliot Davison, safety, UTSA. Tyreen Powell, linebackers from Rutgers. Omari Thomas, defensive end, Tennessee. Davis Beenham, corner, South Dakota State. Torricelli Simpkins, III, guard from South Carolina. Marcus Yarns, running back, Delaware. Chris Tyree, wide receiver, Virginia. James Burnip, punter, Alabama. Moochie Dixon, wide receiver, SMU. And Easton Kilty, tackle, Kansas State. Now, I'm only really going to go into 2 of these players that we're able to take a look at. And that's Moochie Dixon, wide receiver from SMU, and Dallas Beenham, the corner from South Dakota State. Now, Dallas Beenham, first of all, 2-time champion. South Dakota State, their conference, 2-time champion. So right off the rip, the dude's a winner. And he's more of a boundary corner. And what else? Oh yeah, he had talks prior to the draft with the Saints defense. So once again, he had the choice of where he was going to go, and he chose the Saints. Now with Moochie, he's more of an undersized wide receiver, but the dude could flat out run, and that seems to be the thing we have. When we lack in size on the Saints wide receiver room, we make up for with speed. Olave can fly. Shaheed could fly. Brandon Cooks, even though he's getting older, dude could still fly. And now you have Moochie Davis, who can also fly. Now, a lot of people want to get a big body receiver. That may happen in the free agency, because free agency is going to open back up and dudes are going to get picked up. Whoever didn't get a spot, whatever you didn't get in the draft, bam, back to free agency and see who's left. So that's probably what's going to happen most likely with the Saints, to get a big body receiver to go with all these speed demons we got. So he's going to be interested to watch when training camp comes around. But I know I'm usually the positive guy around here, but it's hard not to be. But it looks like they took Mickey Loomis and put him to the side, and Kellen Moore and his crew went in with Jeff Ireland and went to scouting. They went to scouting, and they got what they wanted. Except for a wide receiver, they got what they wanted in a first draft class. That's why I gave it a solid B plus. And it looks very positive now. The only thing is they got to go ahead and start putting it together when training camp comes around. Rookie mini camp is next week. And I love it because I love when they shoot the videos with the rookies, and we have a big rookie class now. So the rookies and the undrafteds all get together. They get on the riverboat. They have their little bread pudding. They take a walk through the French Quarter, take a walk around the city, get to know the city, and then they go have some crawfish, and they show them how to eat crawfish and stuff, how to peel them and stuff. They have snowballs and everything. They get to know the city. They get to embrace the city, and it's always fun to watch. You always have that one or two dudes that are kind of real fun to watch, to hang out with. So I always like those videos. You should check those out. You should check the past ones out because Bug Means was real funny last year. So those are always fun to watch. And that is all for the New Orleans Saints in Kellen Moore's first draft class as the head coach of said Saints. But don't go too far because the show's not over. We're going to talk a little, you guessed it, college when we return to the Crescent City Connection, powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Yes, sir.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
The roar of the crowd, the drama and pageantry, the adrenaline rush and decadence of the world of professional wrestling. Join yours truly, the SoCal Saint, for the best pro wrestling podcast going today, the IE Wrestling Show, exclusively on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Join us every Wednesday from 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, every Wednesday, the IE Wrestling Show. It's just too woo!
Oh, sorry, you caught me vibing to my own music. Shout out to Chi-Town Weekly, one of the many shows you can find on IE Sports Radio on our, our family. We're a family around here. And of course, my side hustle, my side project, i.e. wrestling show with the homie SoCal Saint. Shout out to the homie. He's feeling a little under the weather. We did not have our show this week because he was under the weather. But the correction, we'll get that corrected. Thursdays. We are now on Thursdays at high noon. Talking all the wrestlings, the grapples. If you follow wrestling, we've had a lot of WWE had a lot of releases yesterday that was surprising. We're going to talk about that next week. So follow us at the IE Wrestling Show. We talk all the graps, the wrestlings. And now we're going to mosey on over to talk a little college, preferably Baton Rouge. We're talking about the Tigers of Baton Rouge. And we're going to start off talking a little football, but not, current football because they're on their break from spring. We're going to talk about some former Tigers. Now, we have the football, the LSU football draft picks in the 2025 draft. I know I kind of went over them last week, but we're going to go over them again just because we love the Tigers. First round, round 1, pick 4 to the New England Patriots. Will Campbell, left tackle. Round 2, pick 42. Mason Taylor, tight end to the New York Jets. Round 3, pick 91. Mr. Emory Jones Jr., offensive lineman to the Ravens. Ravens, the rich get richer. Also in round 3, pick 101, Savion Jones, defensive lineman to the Sean Payton Broncos. Then all the way to round 5, pick 146, Mr. Braden Swinson, who I wanted us to kind of go after later on. He got picked up, defensive end got picked up by the Patriots. So shout out to the Patriots. They got Will Campbell and Braden Swinson. And round 5, pick 171, Mr. Miles Frazier, offensive lineman to the Broncos. So shout out to Sean Payton getting Savion Jones for his defensive line and Miles Frazier for the offensive line. And last, round 7, pick 243, Garrett Dellinger, offensive lineman to the Ravens. Shout out to the Ravens getting yet another LSU offensive lineman. Emory Jones in round 3, Garrett Dellinger in round 7. Now, the undrafteds include Major Burns, safety, went to the Bears. Zy Alexander, cornerback, went to the Seahawks. Gio Paez, defensive lineman, went to the Bears. So he'll be joining Major Burns. Josh Williams, running back, to the Bucks. And Paris Shan, defensive lineman, went to the Bills. Woof, woof, woof. The Bills. Woof. And that's the Tigers that got drafted. I will come with the list of Tulane Green Wave next week because I didn't have time to find it. And it 100% slipped my mind. I'm trying to be a professional, working on it. But as for Tigers. Now we're going to talk about baseball because that's what's happening right now. When we last left off, Victor Newman was on a rampage. No, when we last left off on the Young and the Restless, we last left off the Tigers after stealing victory from Tennessee 6-3 at the box. The Tigers dropped game 2 9-3 against the Volunteers. But then the Tigers took game 3 and the series 12-2. Shout out to the Tigers. But then LSU run rules Southeastern. Why you had to do my Lions like that, man? They run rules Southeastern. (15-2) walk off grand slam by Ethan Fry. Why you had to do my Lions like that, man? But shout out to Southeastern because they're not that bad. They're not really that bad. They just got worked. And okay, yesterday should have been the opener against Texas A&M to get ready to close out the rest of the season. But because of the nasty weather, it got postponed to today. So today will be the opener for our series against Texas A&M. And Texas A&M, last year, they started off hot and cooled off. This year, they started off slow and they're starting to catch up a little. But we have a chance to shut that down and keep making our march to Omaha. Now, over to the ladies. Hey, ladies. We left off with them. They defeated McNeese 5-2. The Tigers fall in the series opener versus the number 8 Gators of Florida 14-4. The Tigers then evened the series against the Gators in the 9th inning 2-1. And the Tigers took the series finale in 6 innings 10-2. Shout out to the Tigers getting it done. That's where we're at right now. And also, Tori Edwards named a top 25 finalist for the 2025 Softball Player of the Year. Edwards is one of 12 SEC players, shout out to the SEC, named to the top 25 finalist list, and one of 2 freshmen. She has had a stellar season, leading LSU with a .423 batting average on 60 hits, scoring 50 runs, not 50, 50 runs, and 68 RBIs entering the final weekend of the regular season. You go, girl. The redshirt freshman has set single season records with 18 homers and a .901 slugging percentage. Shout out to Miss Tori. Golf clap. And the ladies are currently number 10. Number 10 in the league, number 1 in your heart. And that's it for Tigers news. We're going to wrap things up with a little Tulane football. Whole moseying on back on over to Uptown UPT. The Tulane Green Wave football team may have found its next starting boundary corner in the transfer portal number 1. Make it so, number 1. Heading to the portal, hailing from head coach John Summerall's former college football program, Troy Trojans corner L.J. Green chose the Tulane football as his next home, and as reported by Mr. Pete Nakos of On 3. Check them out. On 3 is where I got my college football news. Green received offers from Wake Forest, Virginia, Houston, and more programs, including American Conference rivals, the Memphis Tigers. Boo, boo, boo. Green joined the Trojans in 2023 in Coach Summerall's final season as coach, and Green redshirted after playing in the season opener. He then went on to start in 2024 in all 12 games, playing the 43rd most snaps among freshmen and redshirt freshmen corners in college football. Wow, so he was out there getting it. Green totaled 27 tackles, 6 pass breakups, 2 interceptions last year, and he comes to the Green Wave with 3 seasons remaining of eligibility. The fact that Green only received 3 penalties in that heavy snap count he played last campaign was another significant stat. The dude only got 3 penalties in all them snaps as a freshman. Nice pickup by the Green Wave on defense. Love to see it. And ladies and gentlemen, there is no Pelicans news, so we are going to head on out. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for spending your Saturday with me. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with your boy. I hope y'all stayed out of that muggy weather. And if it's hot where you at, if you stayed inside, where it's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. P5 on Saturdays on the Crescent City Connection, your new home for Louisiana sports. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, help the show grow. Leave some comments down below because we know y'all like to talk. We see y'all. I see some of y'all on the Twitter machines and on the social medias. Y'all like to talk. Leave something in the comments. Talk your stuff. Let's get it on. This is a safe place, we like to say. Ladies and gentlemen, shout outs to Planet Jerky Premium Biscuit Beef Jerky, Seal the Deal Wax Seals, Vital Apparel, our sponsors, our lovely sponsors. You can find me at UST Physical on the Twitter X, and of course, Crescent City _IE also on the Twitter X. And you can follow me at U, T, the letter T, number 5 at Blue Sky, on Blue Sky. Ladies and gentlemen, you have yourself a lovely weekend. Join us next week where I swear I'll be more professional. Only if you are here, and tell a friend. By all means, please tell a friend that there's a new home for Louisiana sports, the Crescent City Connection, here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. God bless. Yes, sir.